Aloha, welcome back to Aina Bear Farm. Got some cool stuff to show you guys today. We have added some native plants to our food forest. Big thanks go out to our friends Kim and Jay for providing the plants for us. If you guys are watching, we really appreciate it. We're just really stoked to have these in the ground. So we'll start by looking at a couple of plants that we've put at the end of our crop rows down here as kind of our somewhat more annual part of our food forest. And those are an Artemisia plant that is native to Hawaii. Here is referred to as Hinahina. So it is a shrub, produces flowers. If you might be familiar with the herb wormwood that is used in a lot of parts of the world for things like eradicating intestinal parasites in both people and animals. It's in the same family. It's got that very similar look to it with the leaves. And it does prefer a little bit of a dry or sunny spot. So we thought it'd be good, because this is full overhead sun all day long, to just throw it on the end of our rows, and as it shrubs out, it'll help cap that a little bit, keep the weeds down, and maybe bring in some beneficial insects, some habitat, some diversity. So we put one on each row end here. As we swing around, we've got a few hibiscus they planted along our fence here. This is the Hau Hele. So this is actually the Hawaiian state flower. Now it's the yellow hibiscus. It is native here, and it's an amazing plant because it grows really fast and really spreads out. So I put it here. If I pan back to where the crops were, hoping it'll be a little bit of a windscreen right here. So excited about that. We've got some Kulu'i, the green tea, not like the tea you drink, T-I. And this very tiny little guy here, who's just trying to wake up, is the white hibiscus, which I think was the state flower prior to the yellow hibiscus. And I think it is another native hibiscus to Hawaii. A really beautiful flower. And so you've got several of these with the Hau Hele planted along the fence line here. All right, next up is another ma'o plant. This is the Hawaiian Cotton. So it is a native cotton here in the same family as the other hibiscus we were just looking at. Beautiful flowers, looks a little bit like okra, if you've ever grown okra, which is also in the same family. So this is cool. A cool bit of diversity, not only in the sense of plant diversity, but in the sense of product diversity, that not just talking about growing food, but other useful things as well, like cotton. And so you've got this and another one grown about 6 feet apart. There are shrubs. They get fairly big. If we don't prune them back, they can get 10, maybe 12 feet. We're hoping they'll fill in this area nicely. All right, this little one is Kulu'i. It's another native shrub that produces gorgeous silvery leaves. It can be grown in quite a variety of climates and areas in Hawaii, but it does really well in full blast sun. That's when you get that really nice silvery sheen on the leaves. It's a shrub, so filled out maybe 8 or 9 feet. Again, provide some nice diversity. Maybe bring in some beneficial insects, some habitat for native species. A really nice plant to have here in our food forest. This is a plant we've had in the ground for a while, but I just wanted to show it because it's so beautiful, and it's got these gorgeous purple flowers coming out right now. Flowers quite a bit of the year. This is called Pōhinahina, it's shrubby. It's got a little bit more of a succulent type of leaf texture to it, and it will really spread and operate a little bit like a ground cover. So if I do a better job of keeping this area free of weeds, we'll see that if it will take off, or maybe we can spread it from seed, because I really do like this plant. Okay, maybe a little hard to see this one. This is a legume tree called Māmane. That is a native legume. It grows all over the islands, but was apparently very well suited for this particular area in the Hamakua district. And prior to pasturing a lot of this land, this was a very common tree. It produces gorgeous yellow flower clusters, brings in lots of pollinators, and supports native birds. It likes a little bit of shade until it gets to about the point that it is now, actually. So we put some palm fronds above it just to give it a little dappled shade in its early life. These can be anywhere from tall shrubs to fair size full-on trees. I'm thinking because this is such a good environment for it to be in, it will go full size here. And I'm looking forward to getting some seed pods off of it and spreading more of it, because I figure if this is one of the things that was here before, it's an important plant for this area. All right, so I'll pan out, finish this video up by just talking about the native plants in general. We have a few others that we haven't gotten in the ground yet, some Ali'i. What else? I know we have another of the Kulu'i and Kulu'i. Those are all just more or less shrubby plants that will make really nice additions to our food forest, help fill things in, again, support native species, help our soil, maybe give us a little windbreak, just provide some general diversity. So really excited to have all those in there. The interesting thing about native plants from Hawaii is that we have several different islands in this island chain, and depending on which island it comes from can make a huge difference in terms of what its ideal climate is. And even within each island, so we're here on the Big Island, and we have so many different climate zones here. Everything from dense tropical forest all the way up to something that I think would be like a alpine, I don't know, maybe even like a tundra or something when you're talking about 13,000 feet up on the volcanoes. So it's a little bit important to kind of think about where exactly things came from so that you know where to put it in your landscape, and also to just kind of generally know not everything may be successful if you're in the wrong spot. But still great to experiment with those. Totally worth the effort of trying them out, see how they do. Thank you so much for joining us here at Hawaiian Bear Farm. Big thanks goes out to Kim and Jay again for supplying a lot of those native plants and teaching me more about it. If you haven't checked out our native forest restoration video and you're interested in this topic, I would definitely check that out. Some of our neighbors doing some really cool stuff with a 8-year-old native Hawaiian forest restoration project. And if you have any other questions or comments, as always, just throw that in the comments section. We'll see you again here soon at Hawaiian Bear Farm. Aloha.